Hey, yo, greetings. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Yeah, it's me again, Green. Come back here to recommend some movies for y'all. You know how that is. No, certain people don't want the green guy around, but you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be here. Regardless, you know, I'm going to be here regardless. And the thing is, people don't like it, so hey, there you go. Hey, man, I'm just Green. What's going on? Yeah, Green is here. Hey, hey, hey. I'm just saying, to be real, I'm just here to recommend some movies for y'all. You know, if y'all haven't already, check them out. You know, yeah, I'm just hanging around as you can see. Oh my goodness. Here we go. 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 Let's get on with it, shall we? Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's just I don't pay no mind to people like this guy. Whatever, dude. So what it is it's like this. It's like this here. Yeah. Um, Avatar Fire and Ice is coming on the 24th of this month on HBO Max. You may want to check it out. I'm going to check it out because my friends recommended it to me. It's a good movie. They say, they let their kids watch it. So they recommended it to me because they watched it and they think it's a good movie. Yes, sir. But here we go. But for Disney movies, I recommend the old favorites. Aladdin. Yeah, Aladdin. You can't get wrong with that. Aladdin is cool, man. That's what I'm saying. Aladdin is cool. I'm gonna tell you. But yeah, but nothing can replace the old Disney cartoons. Mickey's Magic Castle and the Disney version of the Three Musketeers, the animated version. Yes, sir. See, when in doubt, go with the classics, man. That's what I do. I go with the classics, cause you know what I'm saying. It's just like that. You go with the classics, you cannot fail. You know, get yourself a good movie or a good book. Shoot, settle back, chill. I mean, YouTube is all good and stuff, yeah, but it can't replace Disney. It can't replace HBO Max. It can never, ever, ever replace Netflix. But it's a good app. I'm just going to say it's a good app. It's just the people that be on it sometimes, but you know what I'm saying. But there you go. You know, and it's crazy. It is crazy. You can't. It's like you can never get any type of peace on this app. I mean, it's crazy. But back to the subject matter. For shows on Netflix, I would definitely recommend Wednesday. If you like the macabre and horror, for a little comedy, I recommend Wednesday. Yeah, because if you like the Addams Family, you'll get a kick out of that. Because the actress, Jenna Ortega, she's a really good actress. She used to work in Disney. That show Stuck in the Middle, that was her, you know. And she said growing up, she'd always wanted to be Wednesday Adams. And look, lo and behold, here she is, Wednesday Adams. Who knew? So, that's what you do. You look, and you find these movies, you know. But YouTube is good for movies too. Go to V Horror, the V Horror channel, and follow it. All you gotta do is type in the movie you want to see. Say, for instance, you want to see The Exorcist. Type that in. Boom. It comes up. You see it. You watch it. Or a movie called Cannibalistic Trolls. That's a good one too. You watch that. You type it up. You get to see it. Children of the Corn. Hey, type that up. See that. Peter Cullen also does the voice of Peter Cullen also does the voice of um Motor Master. He does the voice of Motor Master and Minosaur. You can't get no better than that. Peter Cullen, man of all voices. I mean, he voiced Optimus Prime in Transformers the movie, you know, and you can't get a better voice actor than Peter Cullen. Peter Cullen is also known for the voice of Venger on Dungeons and Dragons. Yes, Dungeons and Dragons. Like oldie but a goodie. I mean, it was on when I was a kid. I mean, we used to get up Saturday morning and watch it. Me and my friends, they would come over, and we'd watch it. We'd sit in front of the TV and watch it. You know, we played the board game. We did the live action thing where we went scavenger hunting throughout our neighborhood for certain items. We had a blast. I mean, there was no dangerous stuff that we were getting. I mean, we were basically hunting down like regular items, like you got a tennis ball, who we would imagine would be a magical orb, or you got a you got a cane, which we imagined as a magic wand. And we always had one guy who played the game so well that we made him the dungeon master, and we would imagine that we're in the realm scavenger hunting, and he would give us certain missions, and we would go forth and carry them out. You know, I mean that it was really something to do. You know, it was just kids having fun, but you know, but people have taken Dungeons and Dragons too far. Yeah, like I've noticed kids in college, Dungeons and Dragons have grown into like this institution with them. Like they play the game and they play it to the point where people actually get hurt or killed or something. You know, that's why took uh, Parker Brothers took the game off that market because people's kids were performing their missions and getting hurt. I mean, you heard about kids going down in the sewer calling themselves uh, going into the dragon's lair and stuff like that. You know, but we didn't do stuff like that because we weren't crazy. We weren't crazy enough to do all that. We went in the neighborhoods and we scavenged. We did things. We like one time this neighbor, he owned a warehouse close to where we lived, like down the street. He would let us scavenge all throughout the warehouse, like find little items. Like one day you would go there and you would find a jar of pennies, or one day you go there and he would put these items there for us to find. You know, and and we had fun doing it. It was just something for us to do. You know, the guy was kind of cool about it. He let us use the warehouse, and we scavenged all up and down the warehouse. You know, we pretend like we were in the dragon's lair, doing battle with the dragon for the great treasure. You know, I mean, you cannot, uh, playing the game is different. Playing the board game is a lot different than live action performing the missions and whatnot. Because live action doing the mission, you gotta have imagination. You gotta have scope. I mean, it's like you got to have that thing about you to where I'm in the realm. I'm on a mission for the dungeon master. You know, once I complete this mission, and I level up, you know, that sort of thing. So we had a blast. Had a real blast. But I'm gonna tell you this. when it came down to playing games like we used to play this game called Catch Me If You Can, right? We had these like little paintball games, like little paintball guns, not like the paintball rifles that you guys had. We had like the paintball guns that shot the little paint BBs, you know, and we wore like clothes that we could get dirty in, and mom and dad wouldn't fuss because the dye washed out real easy, you know. And we play catch me if you can. We play things like we played a game called Manhunt, or we played a game called what do you say? We played a game called yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah, I know. I used to play that. I used to play it when I was in school too. I played D&D like for the live action. We go in the realm and we complete the mission for the dungeon master. Sometimes we do battle with Venger. You know, we find items and people like we'd find the dead knight or war duke or the knights or the lost knights of what is it, the lost crusaders of day, and they would like sort of grant us their magical weapons, you know, like during the game, if you find a dead knight along the road, his skeleton will come to life and remove the sword inside the scabbard, and he would give it to you, and he would tell you, from here on, this is your weapon. And he would say, take it and do me proud, and you take it and you clip on his weapon, you know, and you take the sword out of scabbard, and you touch him, and you'd say, now rest, soldier. Your journey is over. Mine has just begun. And you put the sword back in the scabbard, and you take you as a sign of respect. You remove his helmet. You remove his helmet, and you take a rose from the side of the road, and put it you put it in the soldier's hand, and you say a little prayer, and you leave, thus honoring our dead friend, you know, because he has passed the mantle of Crusader onto you, and what you would do is you would complete your missions as the new Crusader of the realm. You would complete your missions. Hello, Yuri. What's up? You would complete your missions as the new Crusader of the realm, and you would find certain items like sometimes you'd even free a wizard or two. You know, That's what we do. I mean, hello. I mean, we would do that stuff. I mean, we wouldn't do it dangerously. We'd just do it, and we'd have fun with it. We were the kind of kids that, when we were doing things, we tried to do it the safest way possible. We would play. It was one game in D&D that it was one mission in D&D that we really did not want to do, but it was necessary, and that was the thing where we had to do combat with Venger. I didn't mind doing it, but some people took it too far. You know, this one guy that was with us, Dude showed up. He showed up dressed like a wizard, with the wizard's robes and the hat, the bag of magic dust. You know, I mean, he went all out. He went all out. He was all decked out. We didn't mind because we had our little Dungeons and Dragons props that we made. We made our own shields and swords, and you know, one guy made himself a crossbow that actually worked. Um, one guy, um, one guy had this stuff that he called his magic powder. He would throw it out in front of you, and it would create this dust cloud, and we would all escape. Like we're teleporting. Like we'd all like step through the smoke and we're teleported out. Stuff like that. I mean, we did that stuff. I mean, we were the type of kids that, when it came down to it, D&D was our Saturday afternoon. The game and the cartoon. First the cartoon. Then we get into the game. Using excerpts from the cartoon, to map out our gameplay. But we didn't do what the college kids did, all that real world stuff where they were actually carrying. I mean, when I was a teenager, we actually would hear about college kids playing the game to its fullest. Like one time, they played Dungeons and Dragons in a park near my home. You know, and through the park ran this highway, and the cops would always tell the kids to stay away from it, stay away from the side of the park. You can go anywhere else, but stay away from that. One college kid didn't listen, right? And he says he's gonna cross over to the other side. He's gonna enter the dark fortress to face Venger. You know, I'm telling him, I'm just like, dude, there's trucks running there, right? There's heavy trucks running there. That's a big route that goes in and out of town. Why would you go there? Why would you risk cross that stretch of highway? What would possess you? And he would give me some lame done D&D excuse, and I'll be telling him, look, dude, you're older than me, but I shouldn't be telling you not to do that. I mean, you should be telling me not to do that. But you're older than me, and if you want to cross that road, go for it. He went to cross the road, and lo and behold, just as he was about to step into the road to cross it, a policeman came from nowhere and turned him back. And he was blaming us for ratting him out, but all of us were standing there watching him cross the road. How can we rat him out when we're all there with him? None of us crossed the road, but he was the only one going over there. But I mean, nowadays the cops did this thing where they recommend the city had a fence put up, like a big fence put up across the like on the road and the highway, like a big fence. You can't go beyond that fence, but you can go to the rest of. You have access to the rest of the park, but you cannot go beyond that fence. To go beyond that fence, you will be arrested. Yes, it's an arrestable offense. They will arrest you. Know that. And the college kids, pretty soon, they started doing things like D&D. They would take on this. They would do this. And they would script their missions. And one day we got a hold of their playbook. We got a hold of their playbook. We took it. We took it back to our fortress. It was us. It was us and the dungeon master. We had rangers, crusaders. We had acrobats and thieves. We had a couple of wizards. You know, We had barbarians. The older guys were the barbarians. The bigger, stronger guys, they were the barbarians. You know, they were our guides. They made sure that we never got in trouble. Like we never did things that hurt ourselves because because back then they really did care about you. I mean, the older guys when we played, they never wanted you to get hurt. That's the thing. And we would always play in the park, Dungeons and Dragons in the park. You know, we'd go hunting for certain things. I mean, we'd go battle the trolls under the bridge, and because it was just one bridge. It was not like a bridge. It was an overpass, where you could walk under it and go to the other side of the park. We would go there, and we'd act like we're battling a troll or a dragon. We'd be fighting imaginary creatures. Through the realm. It was just something we did. We didn't do the things that these college kids are doing, like these severe acts of Dungeons and Dragons, where you find a kid drowned to death in a sewer or hit by a train because he was somewhere where he should have never been. You know, or one kid, one guy, he was not a kid. This guy was like a 22-year-old college student. And one day he decided he wanted to play D&D with us. Him and his buddies. You know, him, his buddies, and his girlfriend. You know, they wanted to play D&D with us. They wanted to see how we do it, and we showed them. We went step by step. We followed their game book, but we didn't do anything dangerous because the older guys wouldn't let us do it. The older guys, if it was something dangerous, they would warn you away from it. No, no would be the final word. No, and we would abide by it. The rules is when the older guys tell us no, no is what it was. It's too dangerous. You know, like we had these guys with us, right? And these guys were crazy. They were older than us, and they were supposed to like look out for us, and this is the thing, and I would just say like this here. It's stupid. No, it was stupid because like again, they were older than us. They were supposed to look out for us and when we were playing and they're playing too. That was the rule. That was the main rule. If we were playing Dungeons and Dragons and the older guys were playing with us, they were supposed to look out for us. They were supposed to take care of us, make sure nobody got hurt. That's the thing. And they didn't mind doing it because we used to do things like write stories and scripts for our Dungeons and Dragons games. I mean that was just us. I mean that was just how we did it. We wrote scripts and little stories, and we created new characters for the game and stuff. I mean, who does that? But we did it. We had fun doing it, and I couldn't enjoy doing it with a nicer person than the person I was doing it with. I mean, she was always, I mean, like, she played different roles. Like, when she played with us, being as though she was older, you know, we let her be the ranger, which is the leader. And she would lead us on our missions. She would make sure that we wouldn't get hurt or do anything stupid, you know, get ourselves hurt, because she was like that. She was the kind of person that she was the kind of person everybody could trust. But you know, the thing is with D&D, different people play it different ways. That's the thing. But I'm gonna tell you, D&D live action. That was our shot. That was our game plan for the day. We could play Dungeons and Dragons all day long till the sun goes down. Never once did any of us break character when we were playing Dungeons and Dragons, and we literally had a blast doing it, you know. But I'm just saying, when you find something you're passionate about, or a flight or something, find something that you're willing to do that won't get you hurt or get anybody else hurt with you, and you do it. I mean, we did the D&D. We had our own baseball team. Then my mom took us to um, what do you call it? She took us to some store called Build a Bear, and we built these bears. We built them, put together these teddy bears, and we would give them to the girls in our group, like like the um like the ranger that led us on the mission. We would give her a teddy bear. We'd tell her thank you, for playing with us. We really appreciated her. You know, and she would always want to play with us. We loved it, and that was it. I mean, as far as that. But let me sign off of here. I know you probably have something better to do, but I'll leave you this. If you don't know how to play Dungeons and Dragons safely, boys and girls, don't do it and don't attempt it. You know, only play Dungeons and Dragons if you can only do it safely. Okay? Always do it. And always do it. So I'm gonna say goodbye to you. I'm gonna say goodbye to you, and I wish you all the happiness in the world. And be good, boys and girls. Be safe. Yes. See ya.